Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Spiritual Journey podcast. My name is Nimish Radha and I'm your host. I always love starting every episode by saying thank you. I feel so blessed with this podcast, the impact it's having. My intention was really to simplify spirituality and share whatever knowledge I have and guide people on their journey. Now, over 300 episodes later, 5 years later, I received messages about this podcast multiple times a week. People are finding it when they need it most and love the impact it's having. So if you're a regular listener, thank you for your support. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. I am an Akashic record reader, Akashic trainer, podcast host, podcast creator, as well as a spiritual coach and mentor. And I love what I get to do. I get to guide people on their spiritual journey. I get to help people understand their programming, release all the layers they're holding on to, and truly become their authentic selves. I do that through a beautiful mentorship program that I channel through the Akashic Records. Over 12 weeks, I guide you to you, help you to understand the things you've been holding on to, the trauma, the programming, and help you release it all to truly understand you. I hold your space. I never tell anybody what to do. I guide you to you, and I love doing it. It's my favorite thing to do. So if my voice resonates, if you feel like you're ready, then reach out. So today's is a solo episode. So normally on Thursdays I release an episode with a guest, but today I felt and I wanted to do a solo episode. Today I'm going to talk about the power of spiritual community and why we heal together. And honestly, it's an episode I debated because I realized that a lot of people listen to the podcast, and I feel like a lot of people want to reach out and connect, but there's just a gap between the podcast and maybe booking a Akashic record or maybe a mentorship. And I thought, well, okay, what do I need to do? And I felt that the right thing to do was to really create a spiritual journey community. So I am starting a membership program on 12/12, December the 12th. It'll be a community, a loving space of like-minded people who are going through a shift. And why now? Let's talk about that before I talk more about what's included in the membership. You know, this spiritual journey and current, especially if you feel the current energy, there's so many planets in retrograde, there's so much happening. And in many ways, we kind of feel like a lot of the time we need to do this journey on our own. And the last few years, I'm sure a lot of you have felt that nobody really understands you. You feel like you're on this journey on your own. And I feel like that was the time. That was the time in terms of what we had to go through. It's almost like maybe 2018 feels like the beginning of a cycle, and then COVID, when we're all in lockdown and how we chose to heal. Feels like we've all been on this journey, and I feel like we're closing a cycle. You hear me talk a lot about shifting from divine masculine to divine feminine, and masculine is all about the individual, all about the ego, all about standing on a pedestal, whereas the divine feminine is all about heart. We're all about community. So this spiritual journey may feel lonely, but I don't feel like we're meant to do it alone. Yes, we have a role to play, and everyone's role is just as important as everybody else. But we're part of a community. We're part of one energy, one vibration. So I feel like we are meant to, especially in this age and energy we move into, meant to collaborate more and work more as a community. And that's why setting up this membership now feels right. It's like, does anybody really understand you? I've felt that for me for a long period. Does anybody really understand me? Does anybody fully understand what I'm going through? And the real answer is probably no. But are there people that can empathize, can hold space, can share an energy of vibration? Yes, I believe there is. And I've found a lot of people along my path that have done that for me. True growth really happens when you reflect on it, when you witness. I always say that awareness is the first step in any healing. And the next step is acceptance. And a lot of the time, the people around you are a mirror of what's happening inside. So building that community consciously gives you a safe place to grow. A space where you're held in a safe, non-judgmental space. So find that community. And, I talk about the membership, but if that doesn't feel right, manifest the right community for you. It doesn't have to be just one community. Look for multiple spaces. I love the community stuff I get to do. Once a month, we do the full moon webinar around the full moon, and it's a safe space to heal. It's a community space. Every couple of months, I run an in-person meditation circle in my home. So if you're in the UK, in the Ruislip area, reach out. I love doing events, retreats. So it's just, there's a balance. I love the one-to-one work, and I also love the group. But finding that group of people that hold your space right now feels really important. In a space that you be seen, you be heard. I talk again a lot about your blood family. Your blood family, your soul, the family your soul chose as to be your parents, to be brothers, sisters, siblings, etc. They're not always here to love you. But finding your soul family, those that you resonate with, those you pick. And it's normally a combination of people in your world that you interact with on a regular basis, but it can also be a community. And when sharing your story and finding a platform to share your story is powerful, because it's also a collective healing, which is actually why I love this podcast so much. Inviting guests to share, talking to Stacey about deep topics. It's healing. It's healing for me. It's healing for the guest. It's healing for you guys. It is. Say the last few years has felt like a period of isolation. I recorded an episode, a solo episode too, about coming out of the cocoon. I do feel like we've all been in the cocoon, and I feel like we're coming out of it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there listening saying, well, I don't really have people around me that understand me. And that's the reality. When we go through a reset, a rebirth, it's almost like we don't belong in our world anymore. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are going through. They've gone through a shift, and all of a sudden you look around in your world, and the people in your world, they don't belong anymore. They don't fit. And this is why you need to be consciously picking your soul family for this next phase. And by the way, if you want to keep your blood family or the people, you can still keep them in your world, but you just don't give your power away to them. So this is your time to pick your tribe. It really is. You need the support. You need the love. This journey is not meant to be done on our own. It's meant to be done in a group. It's meant to collaborate. And that's certainly my intention moving forward. Is I want to collaborate with more different people. I want to expand. I want to share. I want to enjoy this journey. Finding that safe space for you where you can share, you can be vulnerable. It is a superpower. I always, on this podcast, whenever I record with Stacey, I always say to her that her vulnerability is a superpower, because I feel like sharing from the heart, people feel it. My intention is always to share all of me. Share from the heart. Share what's happening in my world. And your voice, sharing your voice, is really, really important. And of course, I have to mention that your community of your guides. Look for a human community, but also make sure that you spend time feeling the energy and the vibration of your guides. And why don't we do that now? Wasn't planning to do this, but I'm always guided. So if you're in a position to just become present in your body. Obviously, if you're working or driving, keep doing that. Come back to this. It's only going to be a short process. But yeah, just close your eyes if you can. Taking a deep breath in and a breath out. Take another really deep breath in and a breath out. And from this space, just feel what you feel around you. I invite your guides, our guides, all of our guides, any ascended masters, any archangels, any high level beings, any ancestors, any past lives. I ask you to form a circle around us. After calling your guides, I ask you from this space, what do you feel around you? It's not about receiving messages in this moment. It's about what do you feel? Maybe you feel a tingle. Maybe you feel hot or cold, or maybe you just feel something different. Just allow yourself to feel what's around you. Get used to feeling different energies in different spaces around you. And whenever you're ready, just come back into your body, taking a deep breath in and open your eyes. So you could do that simple process multiple times a day. Just allow yourself to feel the support that's around you. Allow yourself to feel the love that's inside and around you. The love that's available to you on the human realm, but also on the other realms. It's time for you to feel that community. It's time for you to feel that love. One of the things that I talk to a lot of other healers about is, do we allow other people to support us? Do you, as a listener, do you allow other people? How does it make you feel to ask for help? This is a period where it's important to allow other people to hold your space. Why is it that we love being there for other people, but we don't always allow other people to be there for us? So allow your space to be held. Allow people to guide you, to hold your space. Make sure you're doing the same for others. This is such an interesting time. Whenever you listen to this is perfect, right? But if you listen to this around the day that it's been released, which is on Thursday the 13th, we have 5 planets in retrograde, 6 if you include Chiron, which isn't really a planet. But we have so much happening on the planet. We have so many things shifting, so many karmic cycles closing. And it does feel intense. I talk about it all the time. It feels like we're closing cycles really, really quickly. So this is the time where I really ask you to look for that community, look for that help in all realms. By the way, if you want help with connecting with your guides, then reach out. Maybe you're ready for an Akashic record reading. I really encourage you to be open to feeling magic around you. And a lot of the time it's our expectations of how our guides are around us, in terms of we all want to see things and hear things. And the reality is a lot of the time it starts with feeling it. What do you feel around you? Do you trust your intuition? The other thing about finding that community is you have people that hold you accountable. I certainly know in the membership, I'm going to regularly connect with the group, and I'll be holding everybody accountable, right, in my own ways in a group. But this is the time your light is needed. So long we'll be waiting in the shadows. As I say, when I know I heal when I heal others. So being in a community Healing accelerates when we feel supported, when we're supporting others. It's a co-creation. I know in the past, the communities that have helped with me is, if you're a regular listener, you heard me talk about Sidra. Sidra Jeffrey was my mentor, my friend, who passed away in a fire in March 2020. But up until that point, we were creating so many beautiful communities, which is why I feel like we were all going through that unique reset. We were talking about creating the we world, and which is all about creating communities. And that's, I started doing one-to-ones with Sidra many years ago, 2012. But then as we started working together, we were talking about creating communities. And I feel like now that's coming full circle. And those communities, that group of people different groups, but they help me heal. They help my space. I'm always going to be grateful for them. And yes, some of them are still in my world. But I feel like everybody kind of went off and did their own thing, and now they're coming back full circle. And I really want to hold space for you guys. I really want to create a safe space for us to heal, for us to grow. I definitely have intentions of doing more retreats, in-person events, more group activities. And if you have any ideas of how I can support, what I can do different, please let me know. This is the time where we have a choice. Do we let the outside noise, the shifting that's going on the planet and all the pain that's around, do we let that consume us? Or do we focus on the healing inside? And of course, community on its own is enough self-care, meditation, time in nature. That has to be like a base chakra. And that continues to be important. And you've heard me, you've heard us, you've heard Stacey too and others talk about the importance of community and how this period that we're moving into, it really is about co-creating. This podcast is a co-creation. It wouldn't be where it is today without Stace, without the other guests, but also we wouldn't be here where we are today without you, the listener. So with the membership, I'm giving you an invitation to come and help, to come and co-create, to join a space that's healing. It's time. Like I said, for me, it felt like it was a calling. Just like when I started this podcast, I got a message through the records to use my voice. The mentorship feels the same. I'm feeling called to create a safe space that's safe, that energetically holds people's energies, vibrations. What it's going to include is a Zoom call once a month. I'll create a community, probably on WhatsApp, and I'll send you every 2 weeks an energy update, just my feeling for the energy that's happening right now. I'll record at least a monthly exclusive meditation for this group. It won't be used anywhere else. So it is like it's a sacred circle. So whatever's created in that circle, whatever I create for that circle, will be just for that circle. And of course, at times I'll invite guests to be part of the monthly call, to share more wisdom, whatever that feels like. And even, and over times as listeners, you can share your story too. I'll figure out what that looks like. I want it to be a co-creation. I don't really know where it's going to go. Just like with this podcast, I'm just trusting. I'm following the nudge. I'm following the nudge that I've been given to start it. And I felt when I was thinking about this solo episode, I was like, I feel really protective of this podcast, and I never really use it to sell. I talk about what I do, but it's not really something I use to sell. Ironically, most of my clients come from it anyway. And I was in two minds, and I was just like, again, I got the message through the records that the membership I'm creating is sacred. So why shouldn't we talk about it? Why shouldn't I talk about it more on an episode, specifically talking about community? And by the way, if this membership doesn't feel right, if it doesn't resonate, then find one that does. Find a community that does. One that resonates. If my voice resonates, then follow the nudge. It's such an expansive time. Your soul chose to be here. And you're needed, you're important, and this is your time. Such an interesting time. When you walk this path with others, you feel that support. Healing becomes lighter. Love becomes louder. And your light grows so much stronger. Every soul you meet, you're meant to meet them. They're a mirror on your journey. Sometimes they're a reminder of how much you've grown. Other times they're a nudge for you to do something different, but they're all there for a reason. And there's times this spiritual path has felt isolating, but I don't really feel like it's meant to be. Not this phase anyway. This phase feels like it's less about isolation. It's more about unfolding of hearts and creating that safe space, remembering who we really are. It's a time to be seen. It's time to be heard. It's a time to be supported. It's a time to belong. It's a time just to be. When we come together with open hearts and shared intentions, we don't just heal ourselves, we raise a vibration. We raise the vibration of all of us, and we raise the vibration, we become an example of others, and we raise the vibration of the planet. This is the power of a spiritual community, and it's my intention. And this is why we heal better together. So whatever you took from this episode, I will include the link to join. First call will be on December 12th, and anyone that joins before that will be counted as a founding member. And whatever we go on to create, you'll always be known as a founding member of the Spiritual Journey membership. It is going to start off at an intro price of $29 a month. Again, I'll include the link in the show notes. I really do hope you join. I really do hope that you heard something in my voice today, my intention, my love, and that inspires you to join. Or maybe you're ready for mentorship. Maybe you want to book an Akasha record reading. Whatever resonates at a heart level, reach out. And if this group isn't for you, then find one that is. Be your own superhero. This is your time to shine. I'm sending you so much love and light. And bye for now.